Friday.
Friday, not Thursday.
Number one, it's Top of the Pops.
There's Joe Wiley. Here's me, not Joe Wiley. And this is another Top of the Pops reaction, the first of 2021. And we're kicking off this episode from the 9th of January 1998, which was 23 years ago, with the single at number 5 in the UK Top 40 bait, Lighthouse Family and Higher, etc. Okay, so we're back to the 90s this month. This episode, and hopefully the one that I'm intending to publish later this month. As I always say, just to cover my own bag more than anything. Things are subject to change. If I have to make too many cuts in certain episodes, then they're not worth putting up. Fortunately, that hasn't happened yet, and I've been doing this Top of the Pop series now for well over a year. Might be getting on for a year and a half. I don't know. We know what a crazy year last year was. Time just kind of all blurred into itself, didn't it? Anyway, this is at number 5. It's a Lighthouse Family, and you know what? I like this song. I had this single actually. This was around a time, 1997-98, where I was buying a lot of singles on CD. Buying a fair few albums as well, but singles obviously were a lot cheaper. Me being a student, money wasn't exactly free and easy. And I bought this single, and the normal version, the radio edit, or the version that you'll be hearing now, isn't even my favourite version on the single, on the CD. There's a great remix that, I can't remember who did the remix, I can't remember if it's got like a subtitle or anything, but no doubt I may have put something on screen if I've been able to find out the name of what I'm referring to, but brilliant remix. I suggest you go and check that out. Real sort of, 1990s dance track of the time. Whereas this is the original, which is nice, very catchy chorus, sort of quite a heartwarming kind of thing, really, isn't it? You can imagine this being sort of playing over a montage of, I don't know, someone's wedding video or something. But I bet this song was probably a few couples of the late 90s first dance at their wedding. I'm only joking, I love a bit of romance, really. So, this was on a Friday, according to Joe Wiley. I don't know if Top of the Pops had regularly gone from Thursdays to Fridays at this point. I would assume maybe not. I thought it switched to Friday permanently, more sort of in the noughties, the early noughties. But I'm not sure. But I like this. This is a good start for me for this episode. 1998. I was doing a lot of college radio. That's hence why I was That's why I was buying a lot of CD singles. And also, like I said, I just liked music, liked collecting music, and CD singles were like the sort of cheap format, really. I mean, cassette singles are even cheaper, but you always got like less tracks on those. Normally with a cassette single, I'm showing my age here, but you'd get 2 tracks on it, and they'd be repeated both sides, unless it was a deliberate 4-track EP. And I always found that to be a bit of a swindle, because a CD single you generally get 3 or 4, sometimes more tracks on it. But there we are. So that was High by the Lighthouse Family. I enjoyed that.
Moonwalking. So this is what you're up to at your Christmas parties. Have you no shame? Grab your partner, jiggle your bits. To this, it's Steps.
On the screen.
You can see more of her later when she brings her Velvet Rope tour to the UK for 6 select dates, possibly more to come. But for now, content yourself with this. From the album of the same name, this is Together Again. So
we've got Janet Jackson on this episode with Together Again from the album of the same name, according to Ms. Wiley. So Janet Jackson, she may have featured briefly in previous episodes that I've done of the reaction series here. She was obviously quite a veteran star at this point. Big solo artist, you know, big seller in America and over here as well. Obviously she didn't reach the heights that her older brother Michael did, but this would have come, what, about 3 years or so after her duet with Michael, Scream, which was on his History Book 1 album. I remember this was alright. I didn't massively like it, but I didn't massively hate it either. It was kind of right there in the middle, sort of, you know, really average for me. Nothing bad, but nothing that I would want to go out and buy or even choose to listen to either. So, this is the January 9th episode of Top of the Pops, so we're still in that sort of, although we're getting out of it, I guess, that post-Christmas hangover, where there's not as many new releases, although we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if there'll be a full chart rundown. They didn't tend to really like doing those once the late 90s got going on Top of the Pops. They just tended to stick the top 20 or even just the top 10 up from my memory. Whereas I like a full top 40 myself. So I don't know, yeah, there again, quite a bland thing really. Lighthouse Family, I'm not saying they were exactly the most exciting act in the world, but I do like that. I don't know, it just holds some kind of cosy nostalgia for me, that. You call something from 98 nostalgic? I suppose you can now. It was 23 years ago after all. That does make me feel old. How old was I when this episode was broadcast? I was 17. Just over 17 and a half. I came of age in 1998. Janet Jackson, she would have had a solo career, not just a career in general. I know she'd done some acting as well quite early on in her sort of entertainment career. For about 15 years or so at this point, I think, sort of early to mid-80s was when she started. Didn't Janet Jackson have a baby a couple of years ago? And she was pushing 50, wasn't she? Well, she'll be over 50 now, I wouldn't know. But, yeah. Congratulations, Janet. It's got nothing to do with this song or this episode of Top of the Pops. But well done you for getting pregnant at the age that you did. Right. Definitely miming here with all the dance moves and, well, just the fact that it sounds like the actual vocal track on the song and not a live vocal. It's pretty easy to spot some miming in it, let's be honest. And she was at number 4, so a top 5 hit there for Janet Jackson. I don't know if it gets any higher.
Last year with her album Spiders. That spawned 4 top 10 hits, now they're back. A new tour, a new album and a cracking new single. Straight in at number 6, this is Avenging Angels.
Oh great, Space, Avenging Angels. Did I have this single? I don't think I had this single. I do remember playing this on college radio once or twice. It was probably on some sort of compilation album that me or my friend Lee, who was the main presenter and station manager, had. So, Avenging Angels, a brand new single. I think this will be from Space's second album. Hopefully there'll be plenty of interesting facts going across the screen right there somewhere. I remember liking this more back then than I do now. It's not pitching my tent as much as I thought it would. They were a pretty big band for the time. I think their second album came out quite quickly after the first one. They're from Liverpool. One thing I do remember about Space, or about their record label, and I can't remember the name of it, but I remember a few months after I started doing college radio, it's another, that's the trouble with these 90s reactions, I keep harking back to my college days. But a few months after I started on the station, I remember just writing a load of letters to like a load of not even independent, I think a mixture of independent and big record labels in the country, in the UK, just basically asking for free CDs, free stuff for the channel, for the station. And the only people who even got back to me, and not only did they get back to me, they sent a bunch of Space CD singles, was Space's record label, and I wish I could remember what their label was called. It was an indie, I know that. Maybe one of these indies that was in fact owned by a bigger conglomerate, like Creation Records used to be half owned, and I think fully owned by Sony. That sort of deal. Oh, it's annoying me there, but never mind, I'll put it on screen. So yeah, that was nice to get some free CD singles. I think they sent, it was before this would be 97, and they would have sent like basically all the singles that they released off the first Space album. So that was at number 6.
Up the charts, the band that were crushing past other girl groups failed to revive. These are the Positively Divine All Saints.
Well, this is a massive hit. And it got to number 1, I'm pretty sure.
I need to know what I've done.
I'd have thought it would have got to number 1 after this broadcast. It would have climbed to number 1 maybe the next week, you never know. I always hated this spoken word intro, it just seemed to drag on and on. And she's got that weird kind of transatlantic accent, doesn't she? As, I think that's Nicole Appleton, I think that one. Or is it Natalie Appleton? Often got the Appleton sisters mixed up. One of them married Liam Gallagher, and one of them married Liam Howlett from The Prodigy. I think it was Nicole who married Liam Gallagher, and Natalie who married Liam Howlett. But I think that's Nicole. Correct me in the comments if it isn't. I don't really care. All Saints were alright. They were sort of more sophisticated, maybe slightly more grown-up answer to the Spice Girls, although obviously the Spice Girls, this would be the year that they kind of, not imploded, but Jerry left a few months after this. Well, 6 months or so after this. I think All Saints were seen as a more sort of R&B, cooler proposition. Sorry, I need to burp. Not an impressive one, but I didn't want to hold it in and then feel sort of funny all the rest of this episode. Not one of your calibre, Beardo, I'm afraid. So never ever yet. This won't be at number 1 here because it's too early in the chart, too early in the programme to be number 1. But this was the number 1, I'm certain of it. I think I played this once or twice, but I'll let other people play this on the radio station because I wasn't that keen on it. I think I'd play it sort of when it was requested, or when I had to, as like some sort of chart update thing. So the other members of All Saints, beside the Appleton sisters, I think was Shaznay Lewis and Melanie Blatt. They had a bit of a comeback briefly, didn't they? Not that recently, probably about, I don't know, 15 years ago. And it was hyped for a little bit, but I don't think they really did a lot, did they? There's Melanie Blatt there, I believe. I mean, this was an alright song. I think they've done better. The All Saints singles I liked, and I think I bought them as well, was their cover of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge, which I believe was later on this year. Really good cover, that. Probably sacrilege to say that about a girl band covering a Red Hot Chili Peppers song, but I don't care. I actually preferred the All Saints version to the Chili Peppers version, and that's probably going to get me slated, but whatever. And a couple of years later, Pure Shores, which was the main theme from the Beach movie, which was a good movie. I saw that many years later. But Pure Shores, a great single, that, from 2000, I think. Or maybe late 99. But that was a good single, and I wasn't buying as many singles back then. I made sure I bought that, because the first time I heard it, I thought that was excellent. So yeah, All Saints, I've got nothing against them. I'm just not overly fond of this single of theirs, but there's worse things. I think this is better than Janet Jackson, certainly better than Steps. Bloody hell, it couldn't be much worse. But for me, still, in what has been kind of an average, slightly bland episode so far, Lighthouse Family was still the best one for me. Might be singing live. Number 2, yeah. Don't be surprised if that's number 1 next week. But you'll have to look that up, because I won't be doing this episode. That episode next week.
Already outsold the Spice Girls in Germany, and it's been number 1 in Norway. Over to Warren G.
Warren G.
Hey, what's up? This is Warren G. I want to thank everybody out there in the UK for giving me another big hit on Top of the Pop.
Oh, yes. Oh, I love this. Oh, no. I think this is a new highlight for this episode for me.
Doing it like that. Warren G, baby.
Oh, this is fantastic. Uh-oh. Oh, I just wish I could remember what it's called. They'll put the title on at the end of the video, and obviously I'll be putting the information on screen. But I know I had this single, and I thought this was fantastic. I was getting into gangster rap and hip hop a little bit more at this point. I started listening to Notorious B.I.G. around this time. He'd been obviously passed away for about just under a year, I think, at this point. Tupac, obviously, his heyday had been sort of a year and a half before this, before he died. Oh, but this classical sample is just... it's from some opera. This is fantastic. I mean, Warren G, I think his breakout hit here in the UK and probably in the US and worldwide really was Regulate, which was probably a couple of years or so before this. But yeah, this is well up my street. This, just I love something with a sample that's well worked. It's recognisable. It doesn't have to be recognisable, but this is. Even though I can't think of what it's called, and I can't think even what the single's called. I think it's featuring someone. Video, I don't think I've ever seen this video before. Or if I have, it's just been like a little bit of it. But, I think this is fantastic. I'm really enjoying this. Definitely had this single. Definitely played it quite a lot. Both at home and on the station. Biatch. Warren G featuring Sissel. Prince Igor, that's it. Prince Igor.
Two from sisters. One of them once a part-time
Of course.
Brain Chill. No, not all Saints. This band have a thing for the Muppets. This is Vanilla.
Oh god. Oh right, okay. Nah, you know, it'd be a bit hypocritical of me to sit here slagging this off. Because I had this single, I just thought it was funny more than anything. This isn't high art by any point. I mean, if you kind of think of like a Spice Girls tribute act, but they can't be arsed with the costumes, or the singing, or any sort of halfway decent lyrics. I mean, you get Vanilla, really. I mean, they really are kind of a bottom bargain basement, bottom of the barrel Spice Girls kind of knockoff, really. But yeah, this was, I think, their only hit. It's the sort of thing you think it would, like, if it had been a one-hit, like a proper one-hit wonder, it would probably would have got to number 1 and spent like 6 weeks there, and they'd never done anything else. But I think this actually missed the top 10. I think this got to something like, I don't know, number 15, maybe a little bit higher. But I don't think this hit higher than top 20. No way, no way. And of course, they're adopting the old Manamana Muppet thing, which I never really understood at the time, but years later it was like, oh, they were fans of the Muppets, that's why they were saying Manamana. I don't know, I think another reason I bought this single was it was cheap. And because it made me laugh, even though I thought, well, yeah, it's not brilliant, you know, it's not going to be the greatest work of art in my music collection. Yeah, I think it was probably something like 99 pence upon week of release or something. I probably heard it on local radio or Radio 1 or whatever. I thought, yeah, got a spare quid, let's get it. I would buy a lot of shit back then, I've got to admit. I mean, this is quite a muted sort of stage performance. You would imagine when you listen to Vanilla, and I think the cover of the single was sort of quite garish, or fairly garish. It kind of looked like a sort of, there again, a Spice Girls knockoff. Number 19.
Now here's the first official Top of the Pops chart of
here we are.
1998. At 20, Mason Feels So Good. 19, Vanilla, No Way, No Way. Number 18's Latricia McNeil and Ain't That Just the Way, and at 17 it's 5 with Slam Dunk the Funk. At 16, Stephen Horton, Wind Beneath My Wings.
Yeah.
Warren G with Prince Igor, that's new at number 15, climbing to 14, Steps, and 5, 6, 7, 8. At number 13, Elton John's Double A-side, and
that's
new
still
at
in the
12,
chart
Allure,
like months
All
later,
Cried Out.
Elton John.
Number 11 this week, it's Boyzone and Baby Can I Hold You Tonight. At number 10, it's Aqua, Barbie Girl.
Number 1.
Number 9, Torn by Natalie Imbruglia. Teletubbies Say Oh is number 8. And at 7, it's Robbie Williams.
I've not
Angels.
seen this episode yet, by the way, so I've forgotten what's
Avenging
number 1.
Angels. New at 5, the highest new entry, High by the Lighthouse Family. Climbing again to 4, Janet Jackson, Together Again. At number 3, the Spice Girls and Too Much. And up
again,
at 2,
so maybe you
All
thought more
Saints,
they were former
Never
number 1.
Ever.
And now, a song written in 1973 by Lou Reed.
Yeah, Lou Reed. Yeah, I know what this is.
Number 1,
Yeah.
having sold 1.5 million copies in the UK alone. First, here's a word from your man, Lou Reed.
It's great to be here on Top of the Pops. Back in the
I don't
UK,
believe him. I don't
perfect
think he
day,
gives a shit.
number 1. I'd like to thank all the wonderful musicians.
Yeah,
that
it's
made
various
it possible,
artists.
and
The
Children
in Need version of Perfect Day. So let's do some celebrity spotting. There's David Bowie. I remember this. I've seen this video a million times. Had the single. Nice cover. Suzanne Vega, I think. Elton John, obviously. I'm just dreading getting one of these wrong or not remembering. That's some classical guy. There's Boyzone, obviously. Leslie Garrett, I think. There's Lou Reed, obviously. Some reggae guy. Bono, of course. Bono! One for you Alan Partridge fans. Classical guy, that's not my forte at all, I don't know. I can't remember his name. Heather Small from M People.
Just a perfect day. Problems all
Might be Emmylou Harris, the country singer. That's Shane McGowan, the woman before her, don't know, she might have been another country person. Some jazz guy. Bowie again. That was nice and easy. Oh, yeah, see, some Huey Morgan from Fun Loving Criminals there. So it's not as easy as it looks, this, is it? Ian Brownie from the excellent and underrated Lightning Seeds. Gabrielle, of course. I like this, a great cover version, this. It was great to buy it for charity and actually enjoy it, really. That was, who was that? That guy. I was going to say Nick Cave, but he looks a bit too young to be Nick Cave, even back then. There may well be a list of all the people who were involved in, or some of the people involved. Brett Anderson from Suede going along the screen during this video. I don't know. I will decide upon that in editing. Oh, that's Joan Armour trading, possibly. Anyway, we're coming to the end because the credits are coming up, so that is obviously my cue and a jolly good time to thank you all for watching, and thank you to all of my subscribers and patrons as always. That's Tom Jones, and please join me hopefully later on this month for another 1990s episode of Top of the Pops to react to. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but it's got to be a good one, hopefully, assuming I don't have to make any changes. But please, will you join me for that one later on this month? Cheers, everyone. See ya!